It's a simple fact of life that attackers pick on the weak to get their way. Hi everyone, this is John with today's active self-protection lesson out of Bulgaria. It shows us an unprovoked attack here that teaches us some important lessons about vulnerable populations and the danger to you if you are in one. Also about the bystander effect and the potential for secondary attacks. The news story says this guy is known to be mentally unstable, and he just walks up to this lady and just kicks her. Now, he knocks her over. The news story says that she broke her hip here, and this guy has multiple instances where he is known to be mentally unstable. So everybody's kind of just walking around like, whoa, what's going on? It's finally, this elderly woman here who kind of tries to stand in between him and the other lady who was just caring for her husband, who's still sitting on the bench because he's disabled as well. Now, this guy's going to walk back because he's still offended, and he's just a bully. And thankfully, though, enough people around, he decides to walk off and this one's over. They did catch him. Now, let's think about some lessons out of this one. There's always 8 lessons on our website. But you notice right here, this guy's coming, and especially when you're in a vulnerable population, you're elderly, this guy's been yipping at you, whatever. You got to do what you can to stay out of the danger zone, or at least to recognize the trouble's coming. You can see his aggressive intent, and you got to recognize, I got to do something here, and he's not going to stop just because you're elderly. Now, he kicks her there, and she has a broken hip at this point. I don't know if the kick broke her hip or if the fall broke her hip, but again, she is badly injured, so having some kind of force multiplier on you is the way to keep yourself safe here. I do recommend, having a firearm on you. This certainly could have become a deadly force encounter because of the force disparity between the two of them. But I also want to talk about the bystanders here. Let's think about, there's a man standing right next to this woman, and he's just kind of standing there going, oh, what's going on? These other people looking around as well. So something for us to consider as self-defenders is when it's time to step into a third-party encounter. This is clearly a significant problem, but if you're going to step into this kind of encounter, you better have the skills to take a guy on who's this big. Now, I commend this woman, this elderly lady who comes up and says, hey man, that's not okay, but she must recognize that she's probably not got the skills to deal with this guy, and so she puts herself in a dangerous place as well, unless she's got some kind of force multiplier that I can't see. For everybody else, we got to consider it as well, whether you'd step into this kind of incident. Of course, this makes my blood boil, and this guy deserves every bit of punishment that he gets, but having the understanding that says, wait a minute, as a bystander, am I going to get involved in this kind of thing, knowing that that anger can then get turned on me, is an important thing for you to consider in advance so that you know what you will do in that moment, not only to protect yourself, but third parties, and cover your asp.